Hey YouTube, I'm here with my first EX2 deck profile. I started BT8 off with Black War Greymon, and I want to do the same for EX2 because Black War Greymon is actually super viable in the EX2 meta. I'm going to be showing you the deck, the changes we make for EX2, and contentions you need to keep in mind when playing Black War Greymon in the EX2 format. So if you guys enjoy the deck profile, if you do, like the video, comment, let me know what you think, subscribe to the notification bell to smash potatoes. That way you know when all these videos go live. And we'll get started here with the babies. Just a 4. You don't need anything else other than Koromon, in my opinion, in this deck. You just don't. You just really don't need anything besides Koromon. Draw power is really strong. For rookies, really simple lineup of rookies. 4 Agumon that give your Greymon plus 2000 inheritable during your turn, really good. 4 of this Agumon from EX1. I still swear by this Agumon. I think it's really, really good. The one attacking once per turn to reveal top 3 at a Tamer or an Agumon card is really strong. Like, you need Tamers in this deck in order to, like, combo all over your opponent and get ahead of them in tempo. The Tamers are really important. And this Agumon helps you get there, help you do some early chip damage as well. It's not a bad thing. And if you get an Agumon off this, then that's good too, because you have more rookies, and that's just fine. Now we're playing for the BT5 Agumon on play at a Greymon or Omni. Fun fact, we aren't actually playing the Omni on this deck, so it'll only ever add a Greymon. But that's still fine, right? It's still something you want to play off of your Nokias. We're not doing the Black Agumon again because we're playing a good number of red champions. This is still red base, basically. So I'm not a big fan of the Black Agumon. And besides, it will whiff more often than you think anyway. So it's okay. The final rookie we're playing is actually kind of something spicy that I've been trying recently. Toy Agumon. Just Toy Agumon from BT7. It is an Agumon card, so you can add it with that, which is kind of cool. Now, it has some applications, which I'm going to show you a little bit later in the deck profile. But this being a 2-cost hard play, it's 1 games. Straight up. It's just single-handedly 1 games, because that costs 2 to play. That's important. It's actually super important. That's all I gotta say about it. 2 to play, 0 evolve if you need to evolve it, if you have another Agumons in your hand. It's a really good Agumon. Anyway, 13 rookies here. We'll come back to this one when we get there in a second. But yeah, really good rookie lineup. I wouldn't change it. The champion lineup is pretty straightforward. We're playing for the BT5 Greymon, the one that gains you memory when you evolve on an Agumon, and during your turn, plus 2000 inheritable to your Greymon. That comes up. Really comes up. We'll talk about why that's so important later. We're playing for the Black Agumon that gives you inheritable blocker. That's really good too. You need to be able to block things. So we play 4 of it. We play 2 security plus 1 Greymon. Not as important as I'd say the plus 2000 inheritable or the blocker inheritable, but sometimes this lets you go for some extra damage, and extra damage will help you win the game out sometimes if you need to go that route. And the final champion is one Agunimon, hybrid for game. That's a good strat. We play 11 champions, and again, I wouldn't change this lineup at all. Originally, we played Cyclomons in this deck, but there's no need. There's really just no need, to be honest. Not anymore. The advantage of playing Cyclomon was that it was a red-black that you could evolve Metal Greymon Alterius mode over, but as we see our ultimates now, we're not playing Alterius mode anymore. We're just not. Our ultimate lineup is really simple. 4 the new Metal Greymon. For those that need a refresher, it evolves for 4, and then you Digivolve 1 on evolution, and then you pop something 3000 or less. It's good at Digivolving annoying cards, and then popping something. And then the inheritable is Judgment of the Blade, as long as you're a Dragon Kid, which you will be. This is inheritable. So that's really good. The other ultimate we're playing, we're just 3 Chimeramon. You guys gave me a lot of poop. Not you guys. Some of you guys gave me a lot of poop for not playing Chimeramon in my original version of Black War Greymon. Now, it wasn't necessary at the time, and we're not playing the black base version of it. However, you need to be faster than D-Reapers, which we're going to talk about now. You need to be just faster than D-Reapers, and Chimeramon helps you get there. Now, let's say, again, here's our scenario with Toy Agumon. Let's say that in the back, you have an Agumon and you have a champion. Great, okay. And you have a Memory Tamer. You have a Memory Tamer on the field. So what happens is you promote this, and you have Nokia. That's also super important in this. You have Nokia, right? You have Nokia and a Memory Tamer. You play this for 2. You evolve into this Greymon for basically free, Or if you don't have this Greymon, that's why you need maybe the Memory Tamer, because this will let you evolve for 1, so your turn doesn't pass over. So basically, if you have this, it's fine, but if you have this, you're still fine, because you'll be able to play this for 2, evolve for 1 thanks to Nokia, and if you don't have Nokia, then again, you need this. So you can see where the 2 cost really comes in clutch sometimes. But anyway, so you're at 0 memory, let's say, then you Chimeramon, make a big stack, and then you make Black War Greymon. And that pops some Tamers or a creature, and then next turn you can start attacking things. What's really important about Chimeramon is it will attach your Metal Greymon Inheritable from the trash, which could just get there, either because you've used it already this game, or Resistance Security and your opponent hit it. That's possible, right? So Chimeramon effectively lets you have 7 Metal Greymons. The minus DP is cool. Sometimes it matters, but usually not. It's really there just to be additional copies of Metal Greymon, and lets you turbo into your Black War Greymon a little bit faster. So that's why Toy-Agumon's important. That's why Chimeramon's important. That's why we're not playing any other champions in the deck. Or, sorry, ultimates in the deck. Because I want to be able to just turbo into Black War Greymon, and I want to be able to always have this as an inheritable. Now, you won't always have it as inheritable if you have this first, with no access to this in the trash. But that's not super common, and worst case scenario, it's probably still fine anyway. So yeah, 7 ultimates. There you go. There's some theory. For the Megas, we're playing the 4 Black War Greymon. It's your big, bad boss monster that pops Tamers and creatures up to 6 cost. Just need to have a black source, which again, thanks to Chimeramon, you can fix your color sources. It's very important. You need to be able to consistently pop whatever you want in the EX2 meta. Very important. As long as you're popping Tamers, you're destroying Yellow Hybrid. As long as you're popping creatures, you're destroying pretty much everything else. That's low creatures, of course. So yeah, 4 Black War Greymon, really, really good. Really, really scary when you get this guy going. And then our last Digimon in the deck is the BT1 War Greymon, because Delicate Plan on legs is very important. And it won't die to security as often as you think. It just really won't. So there are our Megas. That's it for our Digimon. So we're going to go into the Tamers. The Tamers. We're playing for Nokia, because Nokia is mandatory. Makes your Greymon evolutions 1 cheaper for each one, and I'll play Agumon. So if you play this one for free, you're really plussing, which is really good. Now, the next Tamer here, it's the only other Tamer we play. In BT8 meta, we're playing 3 Marcus. I originally had this deck built for a BT8 tournament I was going to attend tonight, or I guess yesterday now, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. So Marcus would have been in the BT8 tournament because the memory is super important, and choking your opponent is a little more important. However, because D-Reapers exist in EX2, Marcus is no longer the play. Instead, you're playing 3 Hero. It's a Memory Tamer. When you attack with a Digimon that's level 5 or higher, you can suspend this till it gains plus 2000 DP. Why is that important? Because Mama D-Reaper is 15,000. Without this card, your Black War Greymon, in order to attack it, it needs to have this inheritable, and it needs to have this inheritable. If it doesn't have both those inheritables, you are not attacking over Mama D. You're just not. However, thanks to Hero, you only need 1 of those. And if you have 2 heroes, you need none of those. And not to mention, it just gives you extra stuff to help survive security checks. Like your Delicate Plan War Greymon is now 13,000, plus any inheritables. It's really ripping through security really easily. Yeah, that's why I play Hero. Mainly because of D-Reapers. It's kind of important that Mama D dies, but it's also good to have for the extra boost. You know, level 5 or higher Digimon, you can use it in your Chimeramons or Metal Greymons if you really need to attack over something big. That does come up. It does. So 3 Hero, it's working well in testing. I do recommend giving it a try. Now that's it for that. We'll just put these over here. The Spice now is in the option lineup. 4 Breath of the Gods. This makes your Yellow Hybrid matchup even freer. You already have a really good matchup, but it's not perfect. Breath of the Gods almost makes it perfect. Between Black War Greymon popping Tamers and this making it so your guys can't be DP reduced, because a lot of people play Edens and Wyverns, it's a really good card. And if you hit it in security, they can't attack you anymore. They can attack Digimon, but they can't attack you. so it's a really, really strong card. Against Rapidmon, it's kind of whatever, because it does suspend your Black or Greymon still, but no DP, so they actually need to attack over it the hard way, and they can't use Cody to get over it either, right? So Breath of the Gods, mandatory 4 in my opinion in this deck. It's just very strong. It's very strong. Other applications, you know, can't be bounced from hand or deck, so people playing things like Imperial Dramon, Fighter mode, or even Paladin mode can't bounce things. If you use this on like a champion or something, you know, Pale Dramon can't bounce it. That's actually come up a couple times. And other matchups too that bounce and like DP reduce, you know, none of that. Breath of the Gods just says no. If you hit insecurity, even better. Like watching an Imperial player cry because they hit this insecurity after they're ready to game you, and then you break their board because you're Black or Greymon and you do that. It's a really unfortunate feeling. It is. It is. We have three more options. 2 of them being Red Memory Boost just for the memory and for the searching. It comes up, and then Dark Gaia Force Gaming for the last card in the deck. It's basically, when you activate it, a very big Atomic Blaster, and if security just deletes something 15 cost or less. Now, I don't expect to hit this card in security. I never expect to hit this card in security. The activating hand ability, when you activate it from hand, is a lot better than regular Gaia Force, which is why I'm still playing one of this. Some people will play regular Gaia Force this format because it hits Reaper, which is a 20 cost D-Reaper boss monster. Dark Gaia Force in security can't pop that. Gaia Force can, so you'll see some people switching back and forth between that. My theory on why I don't really need it is because they'll probably hit Breath of the Gods anyway. To be honest, we're playing 4 of it. It's very likely. And I don't expect to hit them in security. I expect to be able to beat Mama D Reaper with this deck before they can Reaper me. That's what I expect. That's all it is. And it's consistently doing that. Sure, sometimes we still lose the game here and there, but it's really good. And Dark Gaia Force Gaming can always pop multiple cards. It's just a strong card. That's it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think this deck is ready to go to take to a Philly Regionals for EX2 if you really want to. Completely up to you, but give it a try. Give it a try if you haven't already. Bye.